Hello friends, I'm RajaFaisal and today I will be highlighting the echoes of sovereignty and separatist movements of India. How minorities in today's India are crippled and crushed by Modi regime. First of all, I will be highlighting the Sikh religion that is predominantly centered in the Punjab of India and calls for separate land for Sikh religion date back to pre-partition of Indo-Pak. But in the pre-partition, Nehru convinced the Sikh leadership that they don't need to go anywhere. They will be the ones who would create Khalistan for them. And in that context, they actually promised Sikhs that the Sikh area would be autonomous area and Punjab would be kept autonomous and they will be having their own autonomy and sovereignty in there, which turned out to be entirely a joke. Even in today's Constitution of India, Sikhs are not considered as different from Hindus. They are taken as a branch of Hindus. They don't have a separate recognition in India. Though the echoes for separation date back to way before partition, but Shrimani Akali Dal got activated after the partition. And if we take the example of Jarnail Singh Bhindranwala, he was pivotal. His actions were pivotal when India bombarded him at Golden Temple. And we all know that at Golden Temple, Indian military conducted on the orders of Indira Gandhi a genocide. Golden Temple was violated. Sikhs were butchered at Golden Temple. The Golden Temple massacre took place in 1984, and we all know how after that, two of the personal guards of Indira Gandhi murdered her. And then on the streets of Delhi, on the streets of Punjab, in all over India, there was a massacre that was conducted at the hands of Hindutva ideology, at the hands of hardliner Hindutva ideology. What they did was daylight butchery. Sikhs in India, they were lynched by Hindutva ideology. That forced many of Indian Sikhs fleeing from India, and they settled in the Western countries, especially America and Canada. And we all know that the calls for freedom, they never ended. Khalistan movement is at full swing. Very recently, Khalistan referendums were conducted by influential Sikh leadership who seek Khalistan. And we all know that in Western capitals, it was a huge success. Now I'll take you towards the Muslims of India. First of all, if we talk about Kashmir, they have never ever accepted the Indian illegal rule over them. So we can never call them as an Indian Muslim. They are Kashmiri Muslims. Today's India is forcefully occupying Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. And the presence of rogue Indian military in today's Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir is considered as one of the most militarized zone of Kashmir. And if we take the presence of Indian military in Kashmir, it is considered as one of the most militarized zone of the world because there is nearly 900,000 Indian rogue military's presence. We all know at the time of partition, British gave a right to all of the states that they can join either India or Pakistan. And that was supposed to take place in accordance to the majority of the religion. And in case of Kashmir, people of Kashmir at that time, they were exactly 80% of Muslims, but their ruler was a Hindu. Maharaja Hari Singh, who wanted to stand with the majority of the people of Kashmir and did not want to accede to India, but the circumstances created by India around him, they were as such that he was made to flee to India so that Indians can influence him. And then we all know that in October 1947, forcefully India made him accede with India. Even he himself knew that it is highly undemocratic of him. Reason being, he was entirely supposed to ask the people of Kashmir whether they want to join India or Pakistan. And as we know that naturally, Kashmir always stood with Pakistan's land of today, but they were forced to accede to India. And then we all know that Indian military started pouring in Kashmir and they occupied it. Half of the Kashmir was freed by Pakistan side with the help of local Kashmiris who wanted freedom. And that struggle for Kashmir is still going on. We all know that in recent past, the indigenous struggle for Kashmir has been at rise. But India keeps on complaining that it is Pakistan that is infiltrating all of these terrorists inside, which is entirely nonsense. Since 1947, the presence of India meant that there was a brute rule of India over Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir that had forced thousands of Kashmiris to move to Pakistani side of Kashmir. And the very Kashmiris who are on the side of Pakistan, they keep on infiltrating inside Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir to resist the illegal occupation. So it is all about Kashmiris, the indigenous Kashmiris fighting for their right to self-determination. And even United Nations gives them a right to fight for themselves, because Resolution 47 of United Nations clearly says that Kashmiris have a right to plebiscite. They have a right to decide for themselves, and the Indian rule is forced upon them. Since Modi took power in today's India, we all know the hatred increased within Kashmir for India. The resistance movement is at full swing, but India calls it terrorism. As they say, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. The resistance movement of Kashmir is nothing more than the freedom fight for their own rights. There is another movement of Muslims inside Assam that is called Muslim Unity Liberation Tigers of Assam. They are active inside Assam, and we all know Assam's borders, they are intact with Bhutan, Bangladesh, and an extension to Myanmar as well. And this is the reason that this separatist movement is very successful as well, as Assam's insurgency in any way is uncontrollable for India. Now, talking about the Christians and the local tribes, they are everywhere, especially in northeast of India. And most important one is Manipur, where we know that there are two major tribes, Kuki tribe and Methi tribe. Kukis are predominantly Christians, whereas Methis, they always align themselves with the center, with New Delhi, with BJP. And we all know in recent times, whatever was happening in Manipur against the Christians, that is all over social media. We know the social media was banned. We know the internet was banned in Manipur for more than 3 months for certain reasons. And you must have seen the videos, the kind of videos which were coming out from Manipur, in which Kuki tribes females, they were paraded naked on the roads by the Methis. And that insurgency is still going on. Kuki people are still fighting for their right to freedom. Same is the case with the Nagaland. Same is the case with Naxalites. All of these, they have major presence of Christianity, and they are fighting for their own rights. And these Christians, they are aligned with the tribes, the local tribes, and that is still a problem for India. One wonders what are the reasons behind it. Well, all of the reasons are related to bigotry of today's India. And today's India is being run by Hindutva ideology. And that Hindutva ideology believes that none others have any right to call India as their own. The only people who have every right to rule over today's India is Hindutva ideology. Be it Citizens Amendment Act or Article 370 and 35A getting abrogated, it is all showing one thing to Muslims: we hate you. And this is what the mantra that is being highlighted by today's Hindutva ideology. Today's Indian constitution keeps on highlighting any law that is against the Muslims. Be it Babri Masjid or be it Makki Masjid, every single where you would find that there is inbuilt hatred towards Islam. And that hatred is so much so that in 2002, when genocide in Gujarat took place under the supervision of today's Modi, Muslims getting butchered and nothing happens. And the only reason behind CM Modi becoming PM Modi of India is that he hates Islam. He hates the existence of Muslims in India. Here, important note is that Modi is known for being someone who hates Islam and someone who hates Muslims. We shouldn't be forgetting whatever happened in Gujarat, in the Gujarat riots. Innocent Muslims of India in Gujarat, they were butchered at the hands of Hindutva ideology. And these are the very people who were Modi's voters. And Modi doctored this genocide. Modi happened to be Chief Minister of Gujarat at that time. And we all know that this title, the Butcher of Gujarat, was not given by Pakistan. It was labeled to Modi by the Western media. And these were the reasons for which Modi was banned to enter in US. One wonders how India is being ruled today by Modi. Someone who, as a CM, was considered Butcher of Gujarat is now Prime Minister of India since more than 10 years. And if this kind of man who is Prime Minister, then hatred would be deep-rooted in today's Indian society. That is why we are seeing that minorities in India, be they Muslims, Christians or Sikhs, not happy at all. And this is the very reason that they are seeking freedom. Time is not far when balkanization of India will be a reality. That's it for today. Friends, subscribe the channel. Do take care of yourself.